Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? This is Jim from the Pain PT. Today I'm going to talk about empowerment. Take your power back. Empowerment. Take your power back. This is really important because a lot of people are struggling. They're stuck in fear, which is what we call anxiety. They're being paralyzed by their symptoms. They're being paralyzed by their mind and paralyzed by the feeling of fear and anxiety running through their bodies, running through their minds, running out through these symptoms. And if you think about it, the opposite of being empowered and feeling like you have your power is to feel helpless and powerlessness. Okay, so we want to move out of those states and into a much stronger state of being empowered. Now, if you think, how do I do this and what does this mean? Well, let me start with the last part first. What does this mean? It means switching out of fear and anxiety as your emotion. Okay, like I said, when you're stuck in that anxiety, I mentioned that before in one of my videos, the different aspects of anxiety, you're going to see certain things. And these things are going to hold you back, going to push you backwards. When we switch into a different emotion, we're going to use another emotion to move forwards. Take a guess what emotion we're going to use here. It's very close to fear on the emotional scale, but it sits above fear. It has more energy than fear. It's also very sympathetically driven. What is it? Anger. Okay, but not anger like you think of, not destructive anger, not anger that's bad for you. This is good, healthy anger. This is an energy source you can tap into when you're stuck in fear or anxiety. Okay, it sits above it. You want to move up the emotional scale to the next emotion. Again, we can go into some fight for a moment. Okay, we can get some anger going because we want a spark. We need some energy. We want motivation. We need determination. We need empowerment to stand up and face the fear, right? You can't face fear with more fear. It's not going to help. We need a different emotional state. So when you're struggling and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling paralyzed and you're feeling pushed back and you're avoiding and you feel like you can't move forward, that's because the energy of fear is working. And the energy of fear is going to do those very things that make you flee or make you freeze. So if you can switch to the emotion of anger, and what we call very assertive, healthy anger, it gives you a different type of energy in your body. That energy is approach oriented. Anger energy puts you on your front foot to move forward versus being in fear on your back foot. So the importance of this is it's a distinction, right? You can see the difference between these two emotions. The idea here is not to get angry. We are not going into a fight state. We cannot fight off the symptoms. We cannot fight off the fear. But what we can do is face the fear. You've heard that saying a million times. It's very cliche. Face your fears. It's true. It's absolutely true. This is what we need to do. This is what you all need to do to get better, is to face the fear, face however it appears for you. And again, you cannot face fear with more fear. It's not going to work because the energy is pushing you back to avoid or shut down. So when you tap into healthy anger, it's called constructive anger. We're building ourselves up. Destructive anger is when we tear ourselves down or other people have attacked us and has torn us down. We're not talking about that. We're talking about tapping into an anger that exists in you to counter the fear, to counter the anxiety and the anxiety symptoms you might be having. And you need to, this is an emotional state that you can utilize. And I'll give you some examples here. One is, let's say you're just feeling so scared to go do something. You're feeling like I just can't get up. I can't get off the sofa. I'm worried about this. I don't know if I can make it to the store today. You've got what if thoughts racing through your mind. What you can do is say, hey, we're going to the store. This is ridiculous. This is just anxiety talking to my head. I know this is anxiety in my body. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the store. We're going. Okay, let's go right now. So that spark, that the way I'm talking is different. It's not what if, oh, I'm not sure. What if my symptoms go up and I can't get there and I can't get home? And worst case scenario, that's all fear-based thinking. We don't want that. It's not going to help. Okay, well, the symptoms start coming up again in your body and you start listening to them, you start agreeing with them, you're going to be stuck. So you need some energy to confront and face and challenge. And that's where this constructive anger comes in, that you can tap into it. I call it a spark. You're generating a spark to move forward. It's not about getting angry. It's not about fighting. It's not that at all. It's about facing. So when we face this, we got to deal with the feelings. We got to deal with the emotions. We got to deal with the symptoms. We got to deal with the thoughts, but we're dealing with them in a stronger place, from a stronger, more empowered place. You've taken some power back, which allows you to make decisions, choose to go forward, respond strongly to the symptoms, not listen to the fear, face the fear, move forward, right? So anger gives you the natural energy to do that. But you have to learn how to channel that into a constructive facing state. This is the key for healing. We get into a very constructive facing state. Okay, so I hope I'm making a distinction here between fight and face. They're not the same thing. You're taking just a little bit of anger, using it as a spark to get you in a different emotional state. And then that puts you into the facing state, says, let's go. It gives you some energy to get off your ass, to get going, to conquer fear, overcome fear, move through paralyzation, get out of freeze, get going, everybody. Get going. Okay, so you can tap into this empowerment. I'm only talking about symptoms today, but we can use this same type of power and empowerment in other parts of our life as well. And I'll give you a couple of quick examples on this, where you can use it to stand up to people. You can use it to say no. You can use it to be assertive. You can use it to make choices. If you don't like something, you don't have to agree with it. You can share your opinion. This is healthy anger. This is healthy expression. This is called assertiveness, not aggressiveness. And it's something you want to learn to embody and use in time. That's using your anger in another constructive way to deal with people and conflict, okay, and things like that. So we can talk more about that another day, but I really want you to use this constructive anger to give you a spark when you're basically saddled with fear and you're paralyzed by anxiety, that you can switch emotions and catapult you into a facing state to start to move forward and face what's here. Again, we're not fighting it. We're not pushing this away. You're still inviting it in. Go ahead. Come on in. Go for it. I don't really care what you do. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm going out right now. Let's go. That's the attitude. Let's go. And then you can calm back down once you get that spark going. Again, the idea is not to be angry. It's not to be too elevated for too long, but it gives you that little impulse. It gives you that little push to get going. Okay. It gives you the right energy to get moving. And then you can calm back down. Once you're moving and getting going, you can calm back down again. Hope that's helpful, everybody. It's been helpful to me and other people I've taught this to. It's a nice strategy to take your power back, to become more empowered when you're faced with fear and anxiety type symptoms. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate all of you. You can join my groups, or you can go for individual sessions, one-to-one consultations. You can go to my website, The Pain PT. You can learn more there. And again, subscribe here if you haven't, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.